Okay, so let's talk arms. Have you ever noticed that really weird thing? Like
Yeah.
you commit, right? You're doing the curls, the presses, all the reps,
Oh, yeah. Weeks go by.
and your arms just look fine,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like they showed up, they participated politely, but they didn't actually, like, snap into shape.
It's almost insulting, isn't it? Like they're trolling you. And, well, conventional wisdom kind of sets us up for that.
How so? What's the usual advice missing?
It obsesses over biceps and triceps. The vanity muscles, right? The ones that do the obvious bending and
Okay.
straightening.
Primary movers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But focusing only on them, on that big movement, it's like, I don't know, try and tighten up a saggy sofa by just polishing the legs. You're missing the actual upholstery, the frame underneath.
Okay, I get that. So we're putting in all this motion, all these reps, but the definition just isn't happening. We're missing something deeper.
Something fundamental.
Yeah. So that's our mission today then. Let's do a deep dive.
Hmm.
Forget maximum motion for a second. We'll go for maximum tension.
Now you're talking. And here's the kicker, the secret weapon. It isn't actually another muscle.
Oh. Okay, intriguing.
It's the material that acts like high-tech saran wrap all over your body.
Yeah.
If you want that real sculpted tone, you got to talk to the arms framework.
The framework, like a wetsuit. You mentioned that before. We're talking about fascia, right?
Exactly, fascia.
For anyone listening who's like, fascia who? Oh, what is this stuff?
Yeah.
Why is it suddenly the key to toned arms?
Okay, so picture this dense spiderweb-like stuff. It's connective tissue, and it's everywhere under your skin. It wraps around literally everything. Muscles, bundles of muscle fibers, nerves, organs.
So it's not just on the muscle, it's through it too.
All through it. And it functions just like you said, like a body stocking or a wetsuit. It's what actually gives your arm its smooth shape, holding everything together snugly.
Right. So when people talk about arms looking, a bit flabby or losing shape as we get older,
Yeah.
it's not just the muscle getting smaller atrophy. It's the saran wrap, the fascia getting looser too.
Yeah. Precisely. That's a huge part of it. The muscle might shrink, but the container loses its tightness too.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do we tighten the container? You mentioned tension.
Yes. And here's the critical part. What happens when you stimulate fascia the right way? Normal training, just lifting and lowering. It often doesn't put the right kind of stress on the fascia itself.
It's too focused on the muscle contracting and lengthening.
Exactly. But fascia, this dense tissue, it responds incredibly well to sustained high tension. When you apply that kind of pressure, you trigger something called collagen synthesis.
Collagen, like the stuff in skin creams.
Sort of, yeah. It's the protein that gives structure. So stimulating the fascia makes your body produce more collagen in the fascia. You're essentially rebuilding and thickening that wetsuit.
Whoa. So toning isn't just about muscle size. It's literally about making the support structure thicker and tighter. That kind of reframes everything.
It really does. And sustained tension does this way better than just, banging out reps. Traditional moves are often stuck in 2 dimensions.
Like just forward and back or up and down.
Pretty much. They hit the main muscles doing that one specific job, but they miss all the twisting, the stabilizing, the stuff needed to engage the entire support system, including all those smaller helper muscles and the fascia itself.
Okay, so we need to stop just moving like this, mimics a curl, and start applying tension differently, in 3D almost. Which brings us to isometrics. Stillness.
Isometrics? The power of not moving? It sounds weird, but
Yeah, tell us about it. Why is holding still so darn effective?
Well, an isometric exercise is when you tense a muscle, like really hard, but you don't actually change its length. No bending, no straightening, you just contract.
Okay.
And if you want to really stimulate that fascia and wake up all those little stabilizing muscles, the ones that actually stop the jiggle, you need that maximum sustained tension. Movement lets tension off the hook, moment by moment. Stillness keeps it cranked up.
Right. And these are those exercises that look ridiculously easy, aren't they? Like someone's just standing there pushing against a wall looking a bit awkward.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or just holding a plank, but inside, everything is firing like crazy. The intensity can be brutal.
So it looks simple, feels intense. What are the types? You mentioned yielding and overcoming.
Yeah, basically 2 main flavors. Yielding isometrics is where you're holding a position against resistance. Think holding a weight steady, or like you said, a plank. You're resisting gravity or a weight.
Gotcha. Holding still.
And then there's overcoming isometrics. That's where you push or pull against something that absolutely will not move. A wall, the floor, a door frame.
Something immovable.
Right. And both types are fantastic, super safe on the joints because there's no jarring movement, and they reshape the arm way faster than lots of traditional lifts because you're hitting that whole structural envelope muscle. stabilizers, fascia, the lot.
Okay, isometrics make sense. Maximum tension, no movement. But before we jump into how to do the overcoming ones without fancy gear, you also mentioned eccentrics, the slow release.
Ah, yes, eccentrics. Equally important, slightly different angle.
What's the deal there?
Eccentric is the lowering phase of a movement, the part where the muscle is lengthening while still under tension. So you lift a dumbbell up that's concentric, muscle shortening,
Okay, the up part.
but then you let it down really slowly, like fighting gravity every inch of the way, taking maybe 5, even 10 seconds to lower it.
Ouch, I can feel the burn just thinking about that. 5 to 10 seconds to lower a weight.
Yeah. That slow, controlled lengthening is incredibly potent for stimulating both muscle fibers and the fascia. It causes a lot of micro damage, which signals the body to rebuild stronger and thicker.
Okay, so that sounds like a recipe for some serious next day soreness, but also fast results.
Definitely fast results, yes. And surprisingly safe, too, because you're usually stronger eccentrically. If you try this, maybe start with just 5 reps, but focus entirely on that super slow, controlled descent. It's excruciating, but effective.
Right, but that still needs a weighted dumbbell or something. What if you're at home, no equipment? How do we get that maximum tension we need for the overcoming isometrics?
Perfect question. Because you don't need anything fancy, you just need something that won't budge.
Like the wall, my floor.
Exactly. Pure overcoming isometrics. You push or pull against that immovable object with everything you've got. The brilliant thing is, the resistance is always perfectly matched to your effort.
How do you mean?
Well, the wall isn't going anywhere, right? So the force the wall pushes back with is exactly equal to the maximum force you can generate. You literally cannot cheat. You provide 100% of the resistance yourself.
Ah, I see. So I can go all out safely
Yeah.
because the object won't give way. And that creates that massive internal tension.
Precisely. Max tension, zero movement, zero equipment needed.
Okay, we're talking arm toning. If I just push against the wall with my hand, am I only working my arm? You mentioned engaging the whole structure.
Great point. You can't just isolate the arm if you want the best results, especially with fascia. The body works in chains.
Chains, like linked muscles.
Yeah, think of it like that. You've got an anterior chain, basically the front of your body, a posterior chain, the back, and lateral chains, the sides. To really stabilize and tone the arm effectively, you need to anchor it by engaging these bigger chains.
Okay, makes sense. The arm isn't just floating in space, so give us an example, something that sounds deceptively simple but will light everything up.
Okay, let's hit the anterior chain, the front. Start in a standard high plank position. Hands under shoulders, body straight. That's already a yielding isometric, right? You're holding against gravity.
Right, basic plank.
Now, for the overcoming part. Without moving your hands or feet an inch, actively try to squeeze the floor together between your hands and your feet. Imagine you're trying to scrunch the floor inward.
Wait, seriously, just squeeze the ground without moving.
Just generate that inward force. Squeeze like you mean it.
Okay, what happens?
Your core will absolutely light up like a Christmas tree. Your shoulders, your chest, the stabilizers in your arms, everything has to fire like mad to generate that inward pressure. I guarantee 30 seconds of that and you'll be shaking.
Wow. Okay, I can feel my abs tensing just listening to that.
Yeah.
Sounds intense. What about the backside, the posterior chain?
Similar idea. Try the squeezing table bridge. So you sit on the floor, hands behind you, feet flat. Lift your hips up into a reverse tabletop position.
Okay, like a crab walk position, but holding still.
Exactly. That's the yielding part. Now the overcoming part. Actively try to squeeze the floor together between your hands and your feet again. Pull inwards.
Squeezing inwards while bridging up.
Yep. And, oh boy, the immediate effect. Your hamstrings and glutes will probably scream at you. You might even get a cramp the first few times.
Oh.
But it's incredibly effective because you're inciting those massive posterior muscles that provide the anchor, the stability for your entire upper body, including the arms. It lets the arm stabilizers do their job better.
These sound brutal but effective. Before people run off and try to, compress their living room floor, you mentioned a principle, PTR, position, tension, resistance. Why is that sequence important? Why not just jump into the squeeze?
Because if you rush it, you cheat. Your body is lazy in a smart way. It will find the easiest path, which usually means using your biggest, strongest muscles to do the work, bypassing the smaller stabilizers and the fascia you actually want to target.
Compensation.
Exactly. So PTR forces you to do it right. P is for position. Get set up perfectly first. Take your time. Are your hands in the right place? Elbows slightly bent. Core engaged. Get the alignment spot on.
Step 1, get in position, don't rush.
Step 2, T is for tension. Before you go full Rambo against the wall, proactively tense the muscles you intend to use. Gently engage the core, squeeze the glutes, lightly tense the arms, wake them up, get them ready.
Okay, pre-tension.
Yeah.
Like priming the system.
Exactly. And then, only then comes our resistance. Now you apply the force. Gradually ramp it up over a second or two to your maximum effort for that isometric hold.
So, position, then tension, then resistance.
Yeah.
Slow down the setup, engage the right bits first, then push or pull.
That sequence prevents that immediate compensation, ensures the force goes where you want it, and ultimately gives you a much better stimulus for toning those arms and tightening that fascia.
That makes so much sense. Rushing it just lets the big guys take over.
Yeah.
And this ties right back into stability, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm shaky or compensating, I'm not really getting max tension where I want it.
You got it. You are only as strong as you are stable. If half your effort is going into just trying not to wobble or fall over,
Then that energy isn't going into the muscle contraction I'm aiming for.
right, it's wasted stabilizing. This is a huge thing you see with resistance bands, for example.
Oh yeah, how so?
People stand on the band, maybe on a slippery floor, or their feet are too close together. And as they pull, their feet start getting pulled inwards by the band's tension. They end up fighting just to keep their balance, wasting tons of energy that should be going into their arms or back.
Okay, so quick practical tip there.
Super simple fix. If you're using bands or straps, anchor them properly. If you're standing on it, maybe put your feet on something wider and more stable, like a little aerobic step. Or run the band under the step. Just make sure your base is rock solid so all your force goes into the exercise, not into just standing upright.
Solid base, solid results. Got it. So connecting all this, the main goal isn't necessarily hitting some massive force number like trying to pull the door off its hinges. It's about creating the best stimulus in the muscle and fascia.
That's the smarter way to think about it, yes. It's about the quality of the contraction. In fact, you often don't even need 100% maximum effort all the time.
Really? Less can be more.
Sometimes, yeah. Going at maybe 75% or 80% of your absolute max effort can often create a cleaner, more focused contraction in the target muscle without triggering those compensation patterns from other muscle groups trying to help. Better stimulus, less wasted effort.
Focus on feeling the right things working hard, not just training everywhere.
Exactly. Quality over just raw straining quantity.
Okay, this is gold. Now, for the listeners who are maybe a bit more advanced or have access to some gear and want the ultimate challenge for this kind of stability and arm definition, you mentioned a killer exercise.
No. Yes. The final boss, maybe. If you have access to suspension trainers like TRX or even better, gymnastic rings.
Okay.
The suspended push-up on rings.
Oh boy. Why is that so much harder than a floor push-up?
Because the rings are unstable in every direction. When you do a push-up on the floor, the ground provides stability. On rings, you have to provide all the stability. You're not just fighting gravity pushing you down.
You're also fighting the rings wanting to slide out.
Exactly. They want to go outwards, forwards, backwards, all at once. So your shoulders, your chest, your core, every tiny stabilizing muscle in your arms and upper body has to fire constantly just to keep the rings under your shoulders. It forces you to engage everything we've been talking about, the fascia, the secondary movers.
It's like that squeezing plank, but with gravity and instability dialed up to 11. A full structural nightmare, in a good way.
That's a perfect description. It is incredibly demanding, but the stimulus for toning and strengthening the entire arm structure is just unparalleled.
Can you make it easier if you're not quite ready for the full nightmare?
Absolutely. You just change the angle. The more upright your body is, the easier it is. Or raise the rings higher, you can scale it way down. But even the easier versions work the arms far more completely than a standard bench press or push-up ever could.
Amazing. Okay, this whole deep dive has kind of flipped the script on arm toning for me. We started thinking it was all about lifting heavy things up and down.
Right, maximum motion.
But it turns out the real secret for that defined, tight look is maximizing tension, especially through these isometric holds and slow eccentric movements.
And specifically targeting not just the big muscles, but all those crucial supportive players, and importantly, that collagen-rich fascia, the body's wetsuit. It's safer, arguably faster for actual toning results, and thinks about the arm as a complete structural unit.
So, the takeaway for everyone listening, you have the tools now. You don't necessarily need weights. Pick an exercise, maybe pushing against your door frame, trying that squeezing plank or bridge. Commit to the PTR principle, position, tension, resistance. Focus on that internal squeeze.
Absolutely. Feel the tension.
Okay, so let's leave everyone with something to chew on, a final thought. If something as basic as just squeezing against the floor, something immovable, can fundamentally start to reshape your arms by working that underlying structure.
Yeah.
What other super simple everyday forces or movements might we be completely overlooking? Like, are there ways we could be using friction or gravity or just basic tension in other parts of our body throughout the day that could be delivering serious results we're totally missing?
That's a great question. Maybe it really is time to rethink how we interact with the physical world around us, not just in the gym, but everywhere.
Yeah.
Fascinating thought.